It's no secret that every MLB team has its star player, so in this video, I'll be ranking every AL team's best player. Let's get into it. Starting off at number 15, I have Carlos Correa of the Minnesota Twins. This one was purely a toss-up between Correa, Royce Lewis, and Pablo Lopez, but I opted to go with Correa after he performed really well when healthy in 2024. Despite playing just over half the season, Correa still managed to hit 14 homers to go along with a .310 average. The even more impressive part was that his underlying metrics completely supported his production, signaling that Correa has a shot to once again be a force for the Twins in 2025. Moving on to number 14 now, I have Luis Robert Jr. from the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are simply a mess, and it doesn't help that their only uber-talented player is coming off arguably his worst season of his professional career. Robert had a mere .228 batting average and .278 on-base percentage with a lack of power numbers to make up for it. His name has been swirling around in trade rumors for a while now, and it's likely that come April, Robert is wearing a different uniform. This brings me to the Athletics now at number 13, in which I've selected Brent Rooker, who just recently took a major step forward in 2024. Rooker was simply amazing last season, and particularly in the second half where he hit a whopping 18 homers in his final 62 games. His season-long batting average also stood at .293, which was far more improved than his career .258 average suggests. Having that kind of season at 30 years old leaves room for future skepticism, but it's hard to deny that he's been the best talent that the Athletics have to offer at the moment. Now, Shane McClanahan was difficult to rank for me, coming off a season-long absence, but he fits here at number 12 for the Rays. McClanahan suffered season-ending Tommy John surgery in 2023, which also resulted in a missed 2024 campaign, but his talent prior to going down speaks for itself. In 2022, he had a 2.54 ERA in 166 innings, and he followed that up with a 3.29 ERA in 2023. His strikeout rate totals have always been impressive, and he limits walks at a high rate. It'll be interesting to see how McClanahan responds this year after a long layoff, but I wouldn't be surprised if he regains his ace status once again. At number 11, I'm heading to the Seattle Mariners, where I'm going with Julio Rodriguez. It's no secret that Julio didn't quite live up to lofty expectations in 2024 after he exploded on the scene in 2022 and had the best season of his young career in 2023. However, he did have yet another solid campaign, and he's still just 21 years of age. Julio is very clearly the centerpiece of the Mariners lineup, and he's someone that fans can expect to take a massive leap forward in 2025. The talent is undeniable, and it's only a matter of time before he cements himself as one of the very best players in all of baseball. Cracking the top 10 is recent breakout star of the Boston Red Sox, Jarren Duran. Completely taking off last season, Duran had a year that absolutely nobody expected. 21 homers, 111 runs, 34 homers, and a .285 average were just some of the numbers that reflect his remarkable 2024. He was a doubles machine, leading the league in that category, and he was also able to suit up in all but 2 games. His official breakout may have came at the later age of 27, but I have no reason to expect a drop-off as he's right in the heart of his prime. Heading over to number 9 now, I have Mike Trout, the longtime Los Angeles Angel. Even though Trout has barely played over the past 5 seasons, it really doesn't take much to be crowned the best player on the Angels. When he is on the field, Trout has still been fairly productive, especially from a power standpoint. He very clearly isn't the same guy he once was, but you can still see his immense talent when healthy. I really do think we see at least one more season of all-star level Mike Trout before he retires. It just remains to be seen whether or not that comes in 2025. At the number 8 position, I have Texas Ranger World Series champ Corey Seager. A true model of consistency, Seager is one of the best pure hitters in the game when he's on the field. Despite almost always suffering an injury each season that causes him to miss a chunk of games, Seager comes up big when it matters most. He hits for power and average while also having one of the best overall plate approaches in the league. His health is what's keeping him lower in these rankings, but I'm still expecting another huge season for Seager in 2025. Checking in at number 7 from the Baltimore Orioles, my pick is none other than Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar really hit his stride in his second full season, turning into a legit star in the MLB. He showed pop with 37 homers, contact with a .281 average, and even some speed with 21 stolen bases. While Jackson Holliday could one day be the Orioles' main man, Gunnar is definitely the face of the franchise at the moment and one that could even improve this year. Look for Henderson to round out his game further in 2025. Coming in at number 6 now is slugger Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros. While still only 27 years of age, Alvarez has cemented himself as one of the best all-around hitters in the game. His prolific power and contact ability allows him to combine both elite home run numbers as well as a high batting average. 35 homers and a 308 batting average in 2024 are the numbers that stand out, but his above average plate discipline with only 95 strikeouts may be what's most impressive. His defensive side of the game is lacking without a doubt, but the bat alone makes him very clearly the Astros' best player and one deserving of a high spot on this list. Now we head inside the top 5, and at number 5 I have Vladimir Guerrero representing the Toronto Blue Jays. At the end of the disappointing 2023, many wondered whether or not Guerrero would hit that next level that many expected him to. Well, in 2024, he did nothing but live up to it, as is reflected by one of the league's highest averages at .323, and he also managed to hit 30 homers as well. While he's dealt with significant launch angle issues in the past, which resulted in a high ground ball rate, Vlad was able to limit this hole in his game, allowing him to finally reach his potential. Whether or not he can build on it in 2025 remains to be seen. Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians takes the 4th spot on the list for good reason. Ramirez has long been known as one of the most consistent hitters on the planet, seemingly producing elite after elite seasons. He may be rarely given strong consideration for an MVP, but he always seems to be in the mix after each season. His 2024 may have actually been the best year of his career, as he posted 39 homers, 114 runs, 118 RBIs, and a career-high 41 stolen bases. He's the MLB's model of consistency, both in his natural talent and his ability to stay healthy, and that may not change anytime soon. This takes us now inside the top 3 spots, and at number 3 is Detroit Tigers ace Tarik Skubal. What a season it was for Skubal in 2024, as he simply put it all together in terms of skills and health that enabled him to put up a dominant 2.39 ERA with 228 strikeouts in 192 innings. While walk issues in his past were a major hurdle to becoming a star on the mound, Skubal was actually elite in this category last year, and it made all the difference for him. I think it's safe to say that Skubal is arguably the best pitcher in the world at the moment, and one that might get even better in 2025. Coming in at the number 2 spot as a runner-up is superstar Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. An electrifying talent, Witt has certainly lived up to the hype in his young career and especially last season. He set new career highs in runs, RBIs, and home runs, but what really stood out was his league-leading .332 batting average that jumped over 50 points from the previous year. Entering his age 25 season, it's actually scary to think of the numbers that Witt will produce this upcoming year. And finally, earning the top spot on this list, at number 1, I've decided to go with Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. While the decision wasn't easy, I thought it was the right one due to this combination of elite offense and defense that Judge brings day in and day out. His month of April last year was a disaster, but he still finished with an absurd 58 homers and 144 RBIs. His ability to provide massive power without sacrificing any batting average is truly remarkable, and when you pair that with his standout defense, it's hard to argue against him being number 1. And with that being said, that concludes ranking every AL team's best player. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.